Welcome everybody to the regular session of Bedford City Council for May 4th, 2020. Again, we're doing a virtual meeting online. So welcome to all that are listening. If you have questions, you can direct them to citymanager@bedfordoh.gov. citymanager@bedfordoh.gov. And those will be answered during the hearing of the citizens. So with that, I want to get started, and as usual, we will start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. So if we could all rise and do that. We don't have a flag, but I can see my flag in the front yard, so we can look at that. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, justice for all. As I said, we're doing a virtual meeting, so it's going to be a fun night again, but I think things are going to work much smoother this meeting than the last one, so please bear with us if we have some technical problems. And if you happen to see, my name is Mayor Stan Kochi, not Michael Malice. I am using his laptop. That's why his name is on there. Mike is standing by. It just says Mike. So that's what we'll do. And all of us in the directive of the governor are spending a safe distance, and we are all in our individual homes, except for Mike. He is at his office. And Heather Rhodes is somewhere in space in her spaceship.
Talk about it during my report.
Yep, I know. That's good. Hope the vision's good up there.
Great internet. Great internet.
So with that, I would ask the clerk, please call the roll.
Spinks? Here. Denudis?
Here.
Fluharty?
Here.
Here.
Mezak? Rhodes?
Here.
Saunders?
Here.
Kochi?
Here. Council, you have the minutes of the work session of April 20th, 2020. Are there any corrections? Seeing none, can I have a motion for approval? By Paula, by Mezak, second by Rhodes. Clerk, call the roll.
Spinks?
Yes.
Denudis?
Abstain.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Yes.
Mezak?
Yes.
Rhodes? Saunders?
Yes.
Kochi?
Yes. And you also have the minutes of the regular meeting of April 20th, 2020. Any corrections to that? Seeing none, can I have a motion for acceptance? By Rhodes, second by Fluharty. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Spinks?
Yes.
Denudis?
Abstain.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Mezak?
Yes.
Rhodes?
Yes.
Saunders?
Yes.
Kochi?
Yes. Under old business, ordinance number 9769-20. An ordinance approving a community reinvestment area agreement between the city of Bedford and APEC Holdings, Inc., and authorizing execution of that agreement and declare an emergency. Can I have a motion for suspension? By Janudis, second by Rhodes. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Spinks?
Yes.
Yes.
Denudis?
Yes.
Fluharty? Mezak?
Yes.
Rhodes,
Yes.
Saunders,
And one more. Coachy, yes?
Coachy.
Yes. Motion for third and final by Mezak, second by Rhodes. Call the roll, please.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janudis,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Mezak, Rhodes,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
and Coachy.
Yes. Okay, ordinance number 9772-20. An ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Silco Fire and Security for installation of a new HD surveillance system throughout the municipal building and declaring an emergency. And could I have a motion for suspension on that? By Spinks, second by Janudis. Clerk, call the roll.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janudis,
Yes.
Fluharty, Mezak,
Yes.
Rhodes,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Yes, I
Coachy.
think we have a little echo helping us out here.
Sorry.
That's good. We need a motion for third and final. Is that what I just did?
No.
No, you need to do. Fine.
Motion for third and final. By Fluharty, second by Saunders. And wherever Mike went. Mike, if you want to explain the
Yes,
Silco ordinance.
correct. I'll just mention one other thing too with the APEC. This was a tax abatement proposal and an agreement between the city of Bedford and APEC Holding. APEC is the company that purchased the former YMCA. They're going to be putting an extensive investment into that facility, well over $500,000. They're going to be moving employees in there. It'll be an engineering firm. And this was a 10-year, 75% tax abatement. And then we'll be proposing that to the schools, which is the next step. The Silco Fire, we looked into cameras and security cameras on the exterior of the municipal complex, as well as some areas on the inside. Some of those upgrades, these were the initial cameras when the building was built. We do know at the firehouse there are no external cameras, especially on the front of the building, which covers the entrance points to the municipal complex. So this this agreement will upgrade some of the exterior cameras. It will include the installation of new cameras at the firehouse. And it also includes, we are upgrading our camera system in our municipal jail. And we're upgrading our camera system in our interrogation room and some other areas as well inside City Hall. This quote was the lowest. The next lowest quote was around $50,000. We're using a lot of the hardware as far as wiring in our municipal building now, which is how we were able to reduce that number down to the $30,900. This will come out of our capital line item, and we recommend moving forward with this improvement.
Thank you. Any questions on that? Hearing none. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janudis,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Mezak,
Yes.
Rhodes, Saunders,
Yes.
Coachy.
Yes. Resolution number 2548-20. It's our wish to put this, and we have three ordinances on the street lighting, a resolution, and two ordinances, which we agreed to put on second reading And so resolution number 2548, a resolution declaring the necessity to improve certain streets in the city of Bedford by lighting the same and declaring an emergency. Motion for second reading by Janutus, second by Fluharty. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Spinks,
Do not need to.
Yes.
Janudis,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Mezak,
Yes.
Rhodes, Saunders,
Yes.
Yes.
Cochi.
Ordinance number 9778-20. An ordinance determined to proceed with the improvement of certain streets in the city of Bedford by lighting the same and declaring an emergency. And again, we want to put this on second reading. I have a motion for such by Janutus, second by Mezek. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Spinks,
Yes.
Yes.
Janudis, Fluharty,
Yes.
Mezak,
Yes.
Rhodes,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Yes.
Cochi.
Ordinance 9779-20. Being an ordinance levying special assessments for the improvement of the street and public places of the city of Bedford, Ohio by lighting of the same in accordance with resolution number 2548-20 and ordinance number 9778-20 and declaring an emergency. And again, we want to put that on second reading. A motion for such by Rhodes, second by Janutus. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janudis,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Mezak,
Yes.
Rhodes,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochi.
Yes. Have ordinance number 9780-20. An ordinance to levy assessments for the expense of garbage refuge collection, recycling, and disposable within the city of Bedford, Ohio during the tax year 2020 and collected in 2021 and declaring an emergency. And we would also like to put that on second reading. I have a motion for such by Spinks, second by Rhodes. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janudis,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Mezak,
Yes.
Rhodes,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochi.
Yes. And resolution number 2549-20, a resolution approving and accepting the proposed 2020 tax budget for the year January 1, 2021 to December 31, 2021, and declaring an emergency. And we'd also like to do that on second reading and part of that on May, we say May
Mhm.
18th?
Yes.
That or May 18th will be the public hearing at 7 o'clock. Again, it'll be online, so that will be fed live at that time. So May 18th. And can I have a motion for a second reading on that? By Paula, second by Fluharty. Clerk, call the roll,
Thanks.
please.
Yes.
Janudis,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Yes.
Mezak, Rhodes, Saunders,
Yes.
Cochi.
Yes. Last of our old business, resolution number 2550-20, being a resolution requesting the county fiscal officer to advance taxes from the proceeds of tax levies for the year 2020 collected in 2021 pursuant to section 321.34 of the revised code of the state of Ohio and declaring an emergency. Motion for a second reading by Rhodes, second by Janutus. Before we vote, We have Jennifer Howland, our Assistant Finance Director, with us tonight. Frank Ambozzi could not be here, so Jennifer, if you have some insight on the purpose of this resolution and the one before it.
For this particular resolution, this is asking for the fund to be sent to us in installments in advance. New installments beginning of the year. The prior resolution is for the tax budget, which needs to be passed every year, I believe in June. And this is to kind of be able to, the county needs to basically approve what we're requesting for funding for next year. And then this needs to be done in June so that this can get accomplished.
Okay, thank you. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janudis,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Mezak,
Yes.
Rhodes,
Yes.
Saunders.
Yes.
Cochi.
Yes. Under reports. Mr. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Few items here this evening. First, just want to quick reminder of what the mayor indicated earlier. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to send them over to citymanager@bedfordoh.gov, and we'll get to those during the public comments portion. Just a quick couple of items. Bedford UH this week, the medical center is having a chalk walk on May 7th and May 8th. Anyone can go over to the hospital at Bedford. They're going to be doing chalk on the walks to show an appreciation of all of those working at the hospital in the medical field. Obviously, social distancing requirements in the hospital will work with all of those that participate. Again, that is on May 7th and May 8th. Light of Hearts Villa, for those of you that recall during the State of the City, we spoke about an expansion project. They did notify us that that project is going to begin next week. So look for that work to take place. And that is an expansion of their memory care unit. For those of you that have been following us online, we did receive notice, as well as I'm sure all of the public did as well. But Kimball has resumed their normal collection services for both bulk items as well as trash and recycle. So appreciate everyone's cooperation over the few weeks where they had limited service, but that has resumed back to normal. If you've seen our service department and working with Barker Landscaping, we were out last week planting the next round of trees. Last week, we targeted the areas of McKinley and High Street. Those were another 50 trees were planted, and that was 100% covered through the Cuyahoga County Tree Canopy Grant. And kudos to Jennifer Kuzma, Clint Beller, and Sean Francis for getting that grant and getting those trees planted. And obviously, we'll continue to apply for those funds whenever available. I wanted to also mention, if for those of you that remember, about a month or so ago, we took delivery of our new squad for the fire department. Last week, we did take delivery of our new rescue pumper. And again, another state-of-the-art piece of equipment that has joined our fleet. So look for that to be out in the coming weeks. And Chief Nagy and his staff, especially Pat Goody, put a lot of effort into that, a lot of hard work. And again, great addition to our squad. And we just want to thank City Council for approving that purchase. Our staff has been working diligently, as I've mentioned in information that's gone out to the public and at the last council meeting during this crisis that we're health crisis we're all working through. We are going after every funding mechanism and grant available to not only cover expenses for cleaning and supplies, but also for future programs and other things that we can work to obtain. There's funding that's been made available through the Office of Criminal Justice Services, and we're looking at that grant, and hopefully we'll have that submitted by tomorrow at the earliest, at the latest midweek. And again, we're looking at those areas just like everybody else. We're going to see a financial impact to this as well. So we're working to reduce what that impact is. Kudos to our staff. They continue to put information online, information for our small businesses, information for our residents. If you get a chance, follow us on social media and visit our website. We're consistently making updates and trying to get every and all the pertinent information out there. We can't stress enough to adhere to the governor's orders and those directives, especially the new Stay Safe Ohio order. Obviously that, over the next week or so, 90% of businesses will be reopened, although there'll be some restrictions. For everyone's safety, please continue to practice social distancing, and obviously don't gather with more than 10 people in a crowd. We, City of Bedford, and all of our staff, we are open. We're open for business. We're here to serve. Obviously, our building is closed, and our buildings will remain closed until at least June 1st. So please look for those updates, and we will have some clarification on when we'll be reopening that in the coming weeks. However, even though the buildings are closed, we're available via phone, we're available email, or again, conducting business online. So please reach out to us if you need assistance, if you have any questions. We are here to serve and here to help. With that being said, end of report. And again, City Manager at Bedford OH, should anybody have any questions.
And
Thank
again,
you.
Mike, thanks to you and your administration, and to all the City Bedford employees for pulling together and working hard and adjusting to the different work schedules and working from home and all the different things they're doing. We certainly appreciate all the hard work they're doing, and we recognize that they're doing it. Again, thank you to you and your staff.
Thank you, Mayor.
Law Director John Montello.
I just wanted to say hello to everyone. And again, if you need anything from me, don't hesitate to call. We're all available if you need anything. I hope everyone is well. Take care and be safe.
All right, thank you. And Jennifer Howland, our Assistant Finance Director.
Yes, in line with what Mike was speaking about with business, and especially with this COVID that's going on right now, people not working and people slowly now trying to get back to work. But income tax has been looks to be severely impacted by this at this point. In the month of April, we're down about $786,000 in collections, and this is mainly due, it looks like, to individual and net profit deposits, which basically probably is more due to the extension of payments and filing to July. So I'm hoping maybe that would catch up in July, but we'll have to see. Withholdings, because withholdings are collected at least a month behind and sometimes 1 quarter behind. We haven't seen much impact in that in April yet, because it's only covering January through March, and also just the month of March. So I'm not expecting to see any significant impact until next month, or even maybe not until July or August, due to the quarterly payments on that one. Other than that, as Mike said and John said, that we are still available for if you need us via phone and via internet or Facebook, or however you need to reach out to us, and we're available for you.
Thank you.
That's it.
And Council, Mrs. Spinks.
Good evening, everybody. I hope we find everybody well and doing okay during these tough times. It's still kind of weird and surreal for us to be doing this from our homes. It's kind of nice, but it's we miss seeing the faces of everybody at City Hall and the residents. Tomorrow, I'm going to go ahead and say happy Cinco de Mayo. Tomorrow, Cinco de Mayo, which so happens to be my stepson's birthday tomorrow as well. And we celebrated it yesterday by doing a car parade, and he even had candy thrown to him. So, and the little 94-year-old lady next door, it was also her birthday like a week ago. So she thought the parade was for her too. So that was really nice. And during these very troubling times, I'm glad to see that everybody you're seeing a different side of people, that they're using their imagination. And what the one lady I've always took from seniors with wisdom is, if you think about, people are complaining about they're going to miss this and they're missing that, but it's made us really realize what we take for granted, and it makes us appreciated. And she said that parade, she said nobody would have normally, if everything was like it has been, nobody would have done a drive-by parade for her. Nobody would take time to do something like that. So that part of it is real heartfelt. And I know a lot of the high school graduates are very upset that they're not going to be able to walk across the stage. But by using that imagination with these parades, it's just very heartfelt, and it's so cool because, again, that's something really special. That's something that's going to go down in history, is they each got a parade for their graduation or their birthday. I mean, that's not normal. We don't normally get a big 30, 40, 50, 60 car parade for graduating or for your birthday. So that part of it makes you sit back and think. That's really grateful for this time to just make you think about what you're appreciated of. With that, big kudos out to our seniors at Bedford High School. So proud. Miss Sandy is so proud of so many of you. There's so many college acceptance, and you know, it's not just for sports. We've got some smart kids. We get bad ratings, and our school gets a bad rap. But you know what? We've got some really great kids, great teachers. I can't say enough about our teachers, our staff, the superintendent, our kids. I'm so proud of y'all, and keep living that dream. With that said, I'm saying a lot about the seniors, but I've got this. There's a young man who is a Bedford High School sophomore, and his name is Orlando Thompson. And Orlando, being a Bedford High School sophomore, is now a published author. He has a new book out. It's a science fiction thriller, and it's titled The Mask of Strategy. And it's currently available on Amazon. And Orlando's always had a big imagination and is often talking about his desires to write a book and his commitment, discipline, and just putting everything in perspective. He did this, and he met his goal. While he did this, at the same time he was writing this book, Orlando has also participated in the band and many other activities and maintained a 4-point GPA in his honor classes. So Orlando, I'm so proud of you. You're so amazing. Keep writing. That is an art. That is something that is just a gift. And I know your aunt, who happens to be a librarian, is very, very proud of you. I'm very proud of you. And one other thing, happy Mother's Day this Sunday. I'm a proud mom of 2 grown sons and several kids that have adopted me. So happy Mother's Day to Heather and Paula. Happy Mother's Day to y'all. Dawn, you've raised your boy, so kind of happy Mother's Day to you. But God, well, dads have to sometimes come out to be too. So, and happy Mother's Day to my friends that they have fur babies. So that's Mother's Day for them too, because are like children. So happy Mother's Day to my friends and to the residents that have furry little children. So end of report.
Thank you. Mr. Janutus.
Thank you. It's good to be here. I don't know, I didn't press the right buttons or something last time. I missed the vote, but good to be here. And of course, as Sandy pointed out, we're always looking forward to being able to get together with each other. I'm just hoping everyone is well and doing well, and maybe find some silver linings in all of this. At least get back to the way we used to be and enjoy ourselves. And basically, I want to thank the city for keeping up the services as well as they have. I think it's really a credit to the administration, and not only that, just reaching out and doing some things above and beyond, and with the wellness checks around the city. That was a really great idea, and also stepping up the food assistance for people in need. So those things together really speak well for the city, and I really appreciate what they're doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr.
Thank you,
Fluharty.
Mayor. I just wanted to wish everybody or mothers happy Mother's Day. That's on the panel. And Tracy, you too. I forgot you. And also, I got her. Don't worry about it. But I've been driving around the neighborhood and trying to keep up somewhat. It's been quiet, which is good. And the grass and everything's been pretty well caught up, except for a few. But our new program is really going to help that a lot, because we're getting on there a lot faster to help get some of these lots cut ahead of time. And Mike, do you have any reports on the San Bernardo up there on the hill? I haven't heard anything.
No, I know they, I know they did start work back again. They had stopped for a little bit during the, I want to say early April. They had stopped for a couple weeks, but Calvin did indicate about a week and a half ago that they were back out there working. I don't have a timeline as far as when they'll be completed. You know, obviously they're behind schedule, but I'll try to find that out for you.
Okay, because I get people ask me all the time, and since all this is hit, we haven't had much chance to get any information from anybody. And also, you can let John out of the closet there when you talk to him, because it sounds like you have a closet.
Thank
That's the
you.
report.
Mrs. Bezak.
Why, thank you, Mayor. I have to come to Vic's rescue here. You mentioned St. Bernardo, and I had a neighbor that called me yesterday, or sent me a text in regards to if I knew any plumbers that could come and help her, because her mother has a condo, but she's been over at St. Bernardo's for probably about the last 2 months and enjoying herself very much. And we got the plumbers all set up for her, so we're okay. And I just want to say my report is going to be a little bit like a potpourri. Yesterday was our best day to see a lot of our neighbors, and they were out in full force in our viaduct park. They're using our park and our grass, our green side of the road for a parking place, but a lot of people are utilizing that time to walk around that beautiful area. And we had a few neighbors we spoke with yesterday, and they were actually, there was 6 in the front yard of one of our constituents, but they were almost 12 feet away. And the one guy comes out on his stoop and says, well, my distance is 6 foot, meaning the whole front end of his front yard. So we kind of laughed that one off. I did have a couple questions. Mike mentioned the Sunoco, turning lease Sunoco. Are they already up to opening their doors, or do they still have to hire employees to take care of the operations of the merchant, the company there?
They, as I think I had indicated, we had signed off on that project a little over a month ago. They were waiting final approval from the Cuyahoga County Board of Health. They received that approval last week. As far as their individual plan, as far as their staffing, I'm not sure where they're at, other than they do have all the approvals to open. So right now, the ball is in their hands.
Okay, thank you. And the, as far as the trees, Dave has been down here too, and I want to say thank you for some really nice trees. And like I posed to you, Mike, I had a question about if we could take one tree from one part of our street and put it on another piece of property up here. I didn't get an answer, so I was just wondering if you were, if you had an answer for me.
Right now, I don't know if there's any trees left. I have to get touch base
Well,
with service
actually,
on that.
the gentleman that did receive the tree was not, he really didn't want it. I mentioned it in a text to you. So if you just decide to take that tree out, maybe we can just squeeze it in up here. But I'll wait for your instructions on
Okay.
that. And I was also asked, we're catching up on a lot of questions that I didn't really have a lot of answers to. As far as this COVID situation, was our Bedford, we don't want names or anything like that, but as far as mortality rate, was there less than 50 or more than 50 just in our area? Put it that way. As I'm giving you just off the wall figure.
Yeah, I'm unaware of any stats like that. Sorry.
Okay. I mean, you know, like we don't know how many had passed away from the virus, do we? Okay, thank you. I wasn't sure and I didn't have an answer, so I thought I'd ask you. Finally, I would like to express my condolences and a lot of people that knew Rick Backo from Ellenwood for all these years, even when you were there and before. He used to be our regular van driver that would go over and above, and I just wanted to express my condolences to him for the loss of his wife. She had quite a bout with the cancer, and angels now, and I just want to say good luck to Rick. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Rhodes.
Hello, everyone. So first of all, I want to tell everyone happy May the 4th. My family and I are huge Star Wars fans. I'm actually missing a Star Wars celebration right now. So that's why I have the background. It's actually it's the bridge of a Imperial destroyer. So that's the one my boys chose for me. They really wanted me to participate in May the 4th today. So I do want to let everyone know the Garden Club board came together and we had an excellent suggestion from the rec department, from Sarah Gennady, taking our plant sale, and we're going to try an online plant sale this year. So if we're hoping to have the website for purchasing your plants online in about a week. We will be posting it to our Facebook page and to our website, and the website for the Garden Club is bedfordgardenclub.com. You could probably do a search on Google and find us as well, and we'll have that link on our homepage. You can go to the store that we're going to be setting up, place your order, and then in about 2 weeks, we will, depending on when you place your order, we're going to have it open for about a week. And we will deliver the plants to your house, and we will leave them either on the porch or the driveway, so you don't have to come in contact with anyone. And we're going to be using some of our younger volunteers to do that so that we can keep all of our members safe. We're letting people know now, because I know there was some question about whether or not we were going to have a plant sale because of Ellenwood being shut and the policies going on right now. So we're letting people know now that don't go to Petiti's, buy your plants or, you know, anything like that. Buy them from the Bedford Garden Club. And our very first online plant sale. So we've seen great success in the past with doing an online sale for mums in the fall. And so we're hoping that this will translate to our plant sale as well. Last but not least, I would like to remind everyone again, please make sure that you are shopping locally. Several of our businesses and Bedford Downtown Alliance helps our downtown businesses, but this applies to all Bedford businesses. If you want to see these companies here when this is over, you need start shopping at them now. Don't wait to see. Make sure you're if you're ordering out food, try to order locally. If you need something, many of our shops are still taking orders. You can call them and they will take orders. And that's a way that you can help our businesses survive this whole mess that we have right now. So everybody out there, stay healthy, stay safe. Darth Vader wants you to know that you should wear your mask. Have a great evening.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Saunders.
All right. Since everybody's bringing certain things up, I'm going to bring up the fact that today is 50 years of the Kent State tragedy. It's one of those celebrations that was going to be a big thing at the University of Kent State this year. But of course, with the COVID virus, a lot of that had to be canceled, and they're doing a lot of online candle vigils and whatnot today. So that was a tragedy that Ohio actually made international news with. Those aren't the kind of things you like to hear about, but fortunately it hasn't been forgotten. So let's hope that type of tragedy never happens again. In the same light, everybody's bringing up the graduations for high school, but there are a lot of college graduates too that are missing out on their graduation. Unfortunately, my youngest son is one of those too, because he would graduate on May 9th from CSU from civil engineering with honors. And after he blew away his 7th grade year after his mother passed away, I'm amazed that he was able we finally got him turned around, and he actually graduates from CSU with honors in civil engineering, which is, if anybody knows, is not a very easy program either. So I want to say congratulations to my youngest son, Andrew. It was a lot of hard work, and he's made it through. The other thing is, since we're in that graduation era, obviously people aren't adhering to the no parties, because over the weekend there were several parties in the city that were thrown. One was on Center Road, and the other one was on West Glendale. A lot of cars, a lot of people. I don't know if we're enforcing that order or whether or not we're just letting them go and let them where the cards fall, because they're actually hurting themselves and others that they come in contact with. But I'm sure there's going to be more of those, because the stay at a home order basically is still in effect till at least the end of the month. So I would hope people have a little common sense and at least wait, throw your parties later. Hopefully we can do them later in the summer, but it's one of those things where right now, if we all adhere, we can get rid of this a lot quicker, or at least knock it down to the point where it doesn't become a critical challenge. The other thing is of course, and I know I gave Mike this week too, there's a lot of people just dumping tons. Now that you're allowed to put stuff back out onto the street for Kimball, people are just dumping everything and its uncle in there. Now, I don't know if it's because of foreclosures or people not paying their rent and being evicted, but I would assume that's going to increase just because of the problems that we have, because a lot of people are unemployed. But, things like mattresses and whatnot, if you're going to put them out, there's requirements of wrapping them and whatnot. Don't just toss them out on the tree lawns. So this is just a reminder for the people. There are requirements. If you have a question on what you're putting out in your trash, give the service department a call and they can tell you what the heck you're doing. And the other thing is, of course, another problem we've been getting is, once again, I'm getting complaints about people parking up the street. Was it Sunday, my own street between Blaine and Ennis, there was one open spot all the way from the entire street. And of course, the street's not wide enough to have two-way traffic. So we're going to have to still look at something with these parking issues, because they are getting to be a problem, and especially on rubbish day, because Kimball, the guy will get out of the can and pull the can out around the parked car, but when he drops it, he leaves it in the street. So we're having issues with that again, and hopefully we can resolve some of that. So we'll go from there. Hopefully people will see some of these videos or our council meeting or something and tell their neighbors and stuff. You know, let's be reasonable.
Thank
Thank
you. The only thing I want to touch on, besides all the congratulations to the graduates and all their trials they're going through, I need to remind everybody to fill out their census papers. Get online, do it by phone, or somebody will be knocking on your door soon. It is vitally important to the welfare of the city. I think I saw a stat that said each person accounts for about $1,800 coming into the city. So if we miss a few hundred people, just do the math, we're losing out on a lot of money. So it's vitally important. The information is safe and secure. They can't divulge anybody's names or specific items about the individual. They can do generalizations, but please count everybody that's in your house, even if they're just staying there temporarily. Please count them, because it's very important to the city that we have a full and accurate accounting so we can get our fair share of federal monies when it comes out. So it's just, like I say, very important. It's very secure, and just fill them out and count everybody. Thank you. And let's move on with business. Ordinance number 9783-20. An emergency ordinance enacted by the city of Bedford, Cuyahoga County, Ohio, hereinafter referred to as the municipality, in the matter of the hereinafter described improvement, and requests the cooperation of the county of Cuyahoga, herein referred to as the county. This has to do with some street pavement, and Mike will get into that in a minute, but I need a motion for suspension by Spink, second by Janutus. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Mezak,
Yes.
Rhodes,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochi.
Yes. I need a motion for third and final by Mezak, second by Janutus. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, this is a contract between Bedford and Cuyahoga County. We applied for a 50-50 match for our portion of Forbes Road. The majority of our portion is right down the center line. Cost a little over $130,000 for the project. It would come out of our street budget, which is about $400,000 this year. We are including that in our bid, but we also have the ability to non-perform that if we choose to do so.
Thank you.
Mayor?
Clerk, call the roll. Oh, you have a question?
No, I just want to make a quick comment. Personally, having worked in highway engineering for over 25 years, I think this is a waste of money. That road has such high traffic volume in the way of trucks that it'll only tear it apart in a few years. So I am going to vote no on this, because I think they ought to reassess, the county for that matter, on this road being a major thoroughfare for industrial traffic, to redo the thing. I also think they ought to do Solon Road, which has a 60-year-old pavement on it also. So, but that's on the county level, but I think we're just throwing money away. So that's my opinion.
And we are putting this on third reading, but we do have a right of refusal after the bids come in to do this project. So we still have that ace in the hole to make sure it gets done. So clerk, call the roll, please.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Mezak,
Yes.
Rhodes,
Yes.
Saunders,
No.
Yes.
Cochi.
Ordinance number 9784-20. An ordinance amending ordinance number 9738-19, making additional appropriations for current expenditures of the city of Bedford during the year 2020 and declaring an emergency. A motion for suspension by Rhodes, second by Fluharty. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janudis,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Mezak,
yes,
Rhodes,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochi.
Yes. Motion for third and final by Paula, second by Heather. Before we vote, Mike, or excuse me, Jennifer, you want to take that? Explain the
Yes,
appropriation.
this is just, we do this every year. This is part of, we need to reappropriate sealed monies from the prior year and Bible monies from the prior year, as well as any new monies that are this year. These are both grants. And this is done about this time of the year.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janudis,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Mezak,
yes,
Rhodes,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochi.
Yes. Ordinance number 9785-20. An ordinance authorizing and directing the city manager to enter into a contract with PBS Technologies, Inc., doing business as PBS Chemicals, ferric chloride, and declaring an emergency. Motion for suspension, please. By Mezak, second by Saunders. Clerk, call the roll.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janudis,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Mezak,
yes,
Yes.
Rhodes, Saunders,
Yes.
Cochi.
Yes. And a motion for third and final by Rhodes, second by Spinks. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. These chemicals, the ferric chloride, we utilize down at the plant, obviously to treat the water prior to it going out into the creek. We've received 2 quotes. PBS Chemicals came in at about $608 per dry ton. And we also received a quote from Camara, which came in at $729 per dry ton. Based on the pricing and the service that they delivered in previous years, our recommendation is that we pass this contract with PBS, and it's our recommendation to do so.
Thank you. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janudis,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Mezak,
yes,
Rhodes,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochi.
Yes. Ordinance number, turn the page here. Ordinance number 9786-20. An ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute a proposal with the GPD Group for professional engineering services for sanitary sewer flow metering and declaring an emergency. It's our wish to put this on first reading. May I have a motion for such by Saunders, second by Janudis. Before we vote, Mike, you want to explain this?
Sorry, Mayor, I was just charging the phone.
Oh,
Part of our process in our permit renewal for the wastewater treatment plant, that permit being an EPA permit renewal, we are required And the EPA is requiring us to conduct a no feasible alternative study as it relates to bypasses and other measures taken down at the plant. This no feasible alternative study is basically the first step in developing a long-term plan, a 5-year plan, and a 10-year plan that the EPA will accept and that we would commit to for future improvements at the plant. Before any of those things can happen, we need to conduct this NFA study, and this is the quote from GPD reflects this initial study.
Thank you. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janudis,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Mezak,
Yes.
Rhodes,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Yes.
Lucci.
And the last is a motion to approve or deny the zoning board of appeals decision to accept the variance of ordinance 1927.05, which in part states a single-family dwelling shall be limited to a maximum square footage of 30% of the lot area in R2 zone district. That was requested by the Angelo Amato contractors representing Barbara R. Bruno of 230 Paul. Council, you vote yes if you agree with the planning commission to allow it, and no if you don't allow it. So, Mike, did you want any input on that, or?
It was unanimously approved. I think during discussions, it was clarified as far as the location, and law director had indicated that recommendation is that we approve it. I believe the councilman was also in favor of it as well.
Okay. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janudis,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Mezak,
Yes.
Rhodes,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
and
Yes.
Lucci.
Thank you. And now we come to that part, the hearing of citizens. If you wish to speak, we can, we have one person here. If not,
Thank you.
Mike, do you have
Thank
any?
you so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, you're
really.
welcome.
And I do have one thing I might mention, you guys, for your schools. What we've done from our school that we graduated from, we alumni have adopted these seniors, and we're actually delivering them gifts. So yesterday we designed all kinds of stuff on our cars and we drove it over to them and we delivered some different stuff. Obviously, social distancing, adopt your kids. The city businesses can adopt them. You guys can adopt them and love on them. So that's what
Great.
we're doing.
Be something to pass along to the school board. Thank you. Mike, did we get any comments?
Yes, there's 2 comments. I'll read the first one. One was a question and I can answer part of that. And then there's another comment. The first one is from Jeff Duber, 134 Harriman. Jeff has inquired, is Bedford looking into NOPEC's Do Not Knock program? And do you know if this program covers political solicitors? I know we've spoken about the Do Not Knock program. We spoke about it in work session at one point. And I think the reason why at first we didn't pursue it is because we do have an ordinance that addresses solicitors. The Do Not Knock program is specifically designed to stop the for-profit companies. For instance, those companies that come around and have offers for energy savings and things like that. That is what that program is geared to stop. It cannot stop the nonprofits. I did check that on NOPEC's website a little bit ago, and it did indicate the nonprofits, it can't stop that. Now, we do keep a list of those who are registered, and you get a sticker that goes on your door or a card. So could it potentially deter some of those others? Yes, it could, but by law, I don't think it
Right,
does.
and I've been over at NOPEC and had a couple conversations with them about that, and it'd be a good program, but like I say, our ordinance does cover it, but maybe having a sticker in the window would help. Political and religious are exempt from any ordinances for soliciting, so those we cannot stop, period. But it's something we'll take another look at that, because it's a nice program they have. Do we have anything else, Mike?
Yes, there's another comment from Christy Glazier. Let me get this here. It says, hello, Mayor, City Manager, and council members. I would like this message to be shared at tomorrow's council meeting during the resident concerns portion. The action that the city took at the beginning of the COVID-19 crisis to add an individual to each shift for the fire department was impressive. I was extremely concerned and disappointed to hear that this action was reversed, despite the continued conditions for which our safety service staff are working. I respectfully ask that the increased staffing policy be reinstated. The force has been working at a deficit since the expiration of the staffing grant. We need to fund an adequate safety force. Our community deserves it. Respectfully, Christy Glazier. And just to address the policy, we did implement that at the beginning when there was an influx of calls that were under the auspice, or under the I'm trying to think of what the term is, the description of a possible COVID response. We did increase that because at the beginning of this, we had seen an increase in those calls. And following those calls, staffing were doing extensive cleaning to the squad, and obviously they needed to protect themselves. And we wanted to have adequate staffing should another squad go out. I will say those calls have since decreased, and our overall call volume has since decreased. I will check that and make to see the specifics as far as those numbers. But that was that policy, and we did implement that at the very beginning. And based on the calls, we did not need to continue that at the time. But we will look into that and obviously look into our call volume. We did, as far as the grant, we did look into that. The grant made available, the SAFER grant. There was also a grant made available for the police department. I believe it was called the COPS grants. We actually looked into those because during mayors and managers discussions, there was some comment about modifying those grants during this pandemic and possibly offering other types of funding. That was originally discussed by, I believe, one of the senators, but nothing has come to fruition regarding them. But our staff did reach out and has done some homework on those two grants, primarily the fire department, the SAFER grant.
Thank you. Any more questions?
I'm just doing a quick refresh here. That was the last of the comments that I have
Okay.
this evening.
And with that, I will ask for a motion for adjournment by Rhodes, second by Saunders. Clerk, call the roll. Tracy? Yep. Can you,
We
can
lost
you hear me, Tracy? No.
She's
Call the
not
roll.
muted.
Call the roll?
Go ahead, Mayor.
Yeah, you can call the roll, Mayor.
Okay.
Rose up.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Yes.
Fluharty, Mezak,
Yes.
Rhodes,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Coachy. Yes. Well, thank everybody for listening, and thank council for hanging in there during this tough time, but we're going to get it, and God bless, and everybody stay safe. I don't have my gavel. I didn't bring it home.
Well,
So
when,
there we go.
Thank you, Mayor.